Hello, welcome to this Pilates Matwork class with small ball enhancement. So this ball that I'm using here is a yoga tune-up gorgeous ball. I like this ball a lot. It has many uses for yoga, Pilates, also myofascial release. It's a lot more gentle on the sensitive IT band than a hard foam roller. So I do have a link for this under equipment and my resources section of my website, maryhowardlepo.com. Feel free to purchase your own. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to put this ball down here. We'll start standing, but keep that ball nice and close. And we're just going to practice some nice roll downs here just to get a little bit warm. So find your feet and think about maybe hips, knees, and toes about parallel hip width apart. So maybe something along these lines here, but your knees are soft. So as an example, here's my soft knees, here's my locked knees. Just be nice and soft. And when you have softer knees, you'll notice that that pelvis also goes into a little bit more of a neutral position as well, versus if you're locked, you're in more of an anterior tilt here. So we'll practice right here, get into all four quarters of the feet. So maybe press evenly to the big toe and pinky toe mounds, lifting up the toes, feeling the arches lift a little bit, and feeling both edges of the heels. Now, could you stand nice and tall here, thinking about ears, shoulders, hips, ankles? Now, if you lower the toes, could you still keep a little bit of arch there? Good. So zipping up from the pubic bone behind the navel, belly button in. We are going to go into a nice basic roll down, kind of like a rag doll. So we're just going to nod the chin and we're going to scoop the belly in. So you want to think about lowering down vertebrae by vertebrae. Try not to hinge the hips back as much as possible. That takes a lot of practice, trust, and balance. It's better to bend your knees and then start there than to always hinge the hips back. From here, when you're to your limit, press into your feet. Think about a downward motion with the legs and the feet as you start from the tailbone and roll and round up. Good. Shoulders, chin, head, last to come up. Let's inhale, take the arms up overhead. Good. Reach nice and tall. Let's open to the side, just a little bit of a back bend here. And then this time we're going to do that again. This time ears are going to stay by the biceps. So find your feet, find your legs, find a little softness. Zip up from pubic bone behind the navel, nodding the chin. We're going to scoop that belly button in, rolling down. Good. Careful not to go too fast. And then when you're ready, find that downward motion, scooping up, coming all the way back up. We're going to turn this into a flow, and we'll open, and we'll reach, and we'll roll. Stay with your breath. So as you inhale, can you still find that expansion? Good. The last time, reach, 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 rolling it down. This will be our last full roll down and roll up here. Good. Pressing through, coming all the way up, and we'll open. Good. This time we're going to roll down. We're going to come to our knees this time. So reach, 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 nodding, scooping. Good. And when you get down there, just walk that out, and we'll come to our knees, all four on tabletop. Good. So I'm just going to untuck the toes here. Spreading wide through fingers, rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Maybe my elbows turn in here slightly. Belly button is in. Inhale, shine the heart forward, tip the pelvis back. Nice cow pose. Exhale, really round, really see curve, really scoop in that belly, maybe looking towards the thighs or the belly button. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now you can stay with these, or you can start to do some little twisties here. So maybe when you come up, maybe you just twist in one side and then cow and then maybe the other side. So just find some movement here that would feel good to you. Maybe you just want to kind of do some little big hip circles here. Maybe that would feel better to you. And don't forget to take the other direction. So find what feels good, where you can move nice and smooth, fluid, no rigidity, if I can get that out right. Good. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We're just going to take this back. I'm going to cross my knees. I'm going to come back to a seat. Good. Now I'm going to scoot up just a little bit here just for the sake of the camera, but you're likely fine where you are. So have your ball close. When you come down onto your back, find your safe neutral. So rolling your shoulders back, tailbone is having connected, pubic bone, hip bones are in that same plane. Maybe low rib cage is connected. We're going to grab that ball here. So we're going to continue to warm up the core. And I'm going to take this ball between the knees. Good. And I'm in tabletop, so knees are over the hips, shins are parallel to the floor. I'm using my hips to squeeze lightly into that ball. Okay. You have two options here. We're going to take the knees side to side. It's a little bit more challenging if you roll your shoulder back and have your arms to the side. You'll find a little bit more stability if you take your arms out to the side into a T. So find yours. Zip up from that pubic bone to behind the navel. And when you're ready, we're going to take those knees over towards the left. Good. I think I'm actually moving to my right, but that's okay. We're just going to move from one side to the other. Good. We're nice and tight through the core. Good. Here's set number 2. We're going to go for 6. And then we're going to change it up. Breathe. Try to keep shoulders grounded, whatever version that you're choosing. Good. Good. So I think this next one is our last one. Total disclaimer, I'm a horrible counter. And then whenever you're ready, good, we'll come back to center. We're going to switch. We're going to take the ball in the hands now. We're going to zip the feet, knees and thighs together. So now we're going to take the arms in one direction as knees go into the other direction, and we'll try that for 6 as well. So from here, and you can put a light pressure into that ball. Maybe keep your elbows soft if you're going to do that. And then from here, I'm just going to take my arms towards the right, knees to the left. And I'm going to move nice and slow and controlled here. We don't want to do any cranking or funny business in the back. Good. Here's number 2. Stay with the breath. Here's 3. 4. Belly button stays in. 5. And I'm keeping my gaze on my ball here too. And last one, here's 6. Good, coming back in. Good, take those feet down, give yourself a little bit of wiggle. If you need to shake out one leg and then the other, then that's fine. Set your ball to the side for a moment. We're gonna do 4 basic bridges, and then we're gonna add in the ball. So rolling your shoulders back, heels are not too close into the glutes here, but hips, knees, and toes are tracking. Big inhale. Exhale, press evenly into the feet. I'm just gonna lift straight up on this first one, really lifting, and then lower down. You can stay with those, or you can rock it back, peeling it up, and then peeling it down. Good, watch your tracking. Here's 3. And 4. Good. While you're up there, if you can reach your ball, mine rolled away from me a little bit. Good. So we're going to take this ball and we're going to put it right under the hips here. So you want it to be in the sacrum area. We don't want it to be into the lumbar. So rolling your shoulders back, find your stability. Should be just a little bit challenging just to be here. The tendency is going to be wanting to take your legs wider. Try not to. And then from here, when you're ready, good, we're going to go into some marching. So I'm just going to lift one leg at a time and then the other. Now, if the ball makes this too difficult, you can't maintain good form, lose the ball, come up into your bridge, and take your traditional mat work marching there. Good. Now, an option to up level here Maybe we come into tabletop position and we go to toe tap hovers. It's a lot more challenging here. Core has to work really hard to keep your stability. Belly button has to be in really tight. And as you're learning this, again, remember, you can take your arms out to the side here if you need that extra little help. By the side, I mean into the T. Let's do one more to each side. Good, and then from here, when you're ready, take those feet down. Woo. Lift the hips, remove that ball. Good, and we're just gonna take the knees into the chest and we'll rock, rock, rock side to side. We're gonna change up how we do this ball. So from here, when you're ready, I'm gonna roll away from you just so you can see the ball placement, but we're gonna place this ball right along the low rib cage here. So if I come over here, I want this ball to be right in this area. So I'm not down here. I want to be more up here. Another visual, think about the bra line. Good. So now we're here. You're in a little bit of a C curve. Okay. So feet can come a little bit more. And you can take your hands behind your head for support. Elbows can be out wide. They don't have to be wide as possible. I just don't want them to be all up in here. Good. Think about your gaze is to your thigh. So you might have a little bit of a chin tuck here. We're going to go to leg lifts. So really zip up into that core. So by leg lifts, I mean we're going to pick up that right leg. We're going to lift and we're going to lower. And we've got 7, 6. I like to exhale on the lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to lift. Good. Let's try for 8 little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that foot down. Now you can modify these two by putting a bend in the knee. So if you need that, take it. Good. Reaching left leg long. Here we go. 8, 7, belly button in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift. Here's those 8 little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Take that foot down if it's safe for you to do so. You can extend over that bar, not the bar, but the ball. A Pilates reformer moment there. Good. Now, here I'm pretty comfortable. If you've got vertigo or something like that, it might not be very comfortable for you. So use common sense. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. So from here, when you're ready, we're going to go right into ab curls and extensions. So nodding the chin, I'm going to curl up. I'm looking for those thighs. And then you're just going to go back. So again, if going all the way back is not for you, don't go there. Otherwise, feel free to do so. Support the head. By supporting the head, head is going into the hands. Hands are not pressing into the head. And we're going to do a few more. So if you're watching the recording of this video, let's say you've done it a few times and you're wanting more challenge here. Extend one leg, and as you curl, maybe you lift. Maybe you want to bend that knee. Maybe you want to alternate. It's up to you. There's always a way to up level. There's always a way to down level. Operate where you need to operate. So last time, coming all the way up, reach, reach, reach. Maybe lift, lift, lift. Good, let's take that back. Get a nice soothing back bend here. Breathe and expand that beautiful rib cage. Good, I'm gonna take my hands, I'm gonna slide them back behind the head. I'm gonna nod my chin. I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna roll over to my side, and I'm going to remove that ball. Good. So from here, we're gonna go into our series of 5. So these first 2, we won't use the ball. The last 2 we will, and then crisscross, we won't use the ball. So from here, I'm just gonna have your ball handy. Good. Get nice and set, find your safe neutral. Going into single leg stretch first, knees are in tabletop position. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, C, curve it up. I'm gonna start right knee in, left leg long, and switch. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Hit the same point. I think this is 7, 8, 9, 10, woo, 11, 12, woo. Bring that back in, short little break. Lift it back up, legs are up here, arms are to the side. We're gonna go into scissors, long scissors, really reach. Remember, upper body can come down at any time. Keep your gaze to your thighs. 12 was my goal here, but I was talking, so I lost count, but we probably have a few more. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring that down. Grab that trusty ball. We're going to put that right between the ankles. Good. We're going to go into a double leg stretch here. So there's a couple things you can do. You can do this in parallel. So that means hip, knees, and toes are facing the ceiling. Or you can do this in an external rotation. Hips, knees, and toes turn away. External rotation will get a little bit more into the inner thigh if that's what you're seeking. So be mindful. I'm going to demo in parallel though. I'm going to bring my knees in. Good. Inhale. Exhale, I'm going to lift. Good. We're going to go for 12. I'm going to count. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Woo! Bring that back in for a moment. Good. So the challenge is try not to let that ball wiggle. It's harder than it looks. Take those legs up. Double straight leg stretch variation. We're going to do a pass the ball variation here. So again, light pressure into the ball. It's from the hips, not from the knees. Upper body can be grounded or lifted. You choose where you need to work. So from here, I'm going to start coming up. Good. I'm going to reach. Good, and pass. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoop, I totally messed that up. Here's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I hope this is coming up on 12. Whew. And then when you're ready, take that down, remove that ball. Whew. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. But the fun's not over. We've got crisscross here. Good. So remember, good form when you're crisscross. You're leading with the shoulder. You're leading with opposite rib cage. Hands behind the head. Knees in tabletop. Draw up and in. Belly button in. And here we go. We're going to try for 12 again. If that feels too killer, you take a break when you need one. And then from here, when you're ready, I'm going to come up. 2, 3, hips are stable. 4, 5, breathe. 6, halfway there. 7, 8, 9, 10, woo, 11, 12, woo. Take that down and maybe sigh in relief those are over. Let's take a nice little stretchy here before we transition Just making sure your ball is out of the way, taking your arms long beside you into a T, knees and tabletop. Let those knees come all the way over to the right, maybe looking to the left. Breathe and expand that rib cage. And whenever you're ready, one leg at a time, we're using your abs. If they're not too tired, move through center, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle center for a moment. Let the low spine reset. Take those knees over to the left. Maybe looking to the right. Strong, even upper body. As best as you can. So I'm starting to get sweaty here. I hope you are too. This is a more advanced class, so details on cueing aren't as deep as they are in some of the others. Good. One leg at a time back to center, or take them both back and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. You've got options here for transition. You can roll over to your side and come into a seat. You can take your arms and legs long in front of you. Oh, that just feels good doing that. Good. Maybe you want a nice roll up here. Maybe you want to roll like a ball. Maybe you want to take that roll. Try your luck rolling with the ball, with your ball. So there's two ways you can do this. You can put the ball right here. I think this is the hardest way, but you're still using your muscles and your breath. Okay. So that's one way to practice rolling like a ball with a ball. The other way, which I think is a little bit easier, take it behind your knees. Good. So you're just kind of squeezing in here. You're finding that nice C curve. Woo. And you're rolling. Woo. Maybe rolling right up into a seat. Good. Remove that ball, cross the ankles. We're going to come forward and we're going to come belly down. So we're going to take this ball under the chest. And so a few things about doing that. We don't want it to be too low here because you've got the xiphoid process and that part of the sternum that kind of is a little bit pointy. So you don't want a whole lot of pressure there. But at the same time, you don't want to feel like, oh, this is too much pressure, I can't breathe. So if you feel that, lose your ball. Those of you that are a little bit larger into the chest, you might have to kind of move this around, and the best way for you to feel more comfortable there. So be mindful of that. Good. So like mine right about here. Good. So we're just going to lengthen, 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 relax the shoulders. And we're just going to let this ball assist us as we just lift just a little bit here. Pressing out of the ball, making the back muscles work. You're still lengthening, belly button is still in. And we'll lower. And we'll do that 4 more times. Good. And you want a little bit more challenge? Pick up your hands. Staying with breath. Good. And then we'll come down. Good. From here, we're just going to do a little bit of a side bend here. So I've got my right arm straight out to the side. My left hand is over here, and that's going to kind of be my catch in case I lose my balance here. So you're lengthening, 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 drawing up from pubic bone behind the navel, and you're just going to lift. Good. And come down. Reach long and lift. And come down. Long and lift. And come down. Other side. Reach long and lift. And come down. Long and lift. And come down. You're looking towards that hand. I think we'll take one more. Good. And come down. This is a fun one, this next one that we're getting ready to do. So if you did not go to the restroom before you started class, you're really going to feel this. And if it's too much pressure for any reason, not just that, lose your ball. And you can do it the Matwork way, but we're going to go into swimming. So I'm going to take this ball right below the navel. Good. So certainly if you're pregnant, this is not something that you're going to do here. So where this is the challenge is the balance when you're coming into swimming. And I do not by any means do this really well, but it's a fun one to try. Slow and controlled is the name of the game. If you go too fast, you're certainly not going to be in balance. But we'll take our arms long here. We'll just try this. So lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through that low body. Belly button is in. Make sure you can breathe as you lift. Sometimes just this little lift is enough of a challenge in itself, as you can see here as I struggle. Whew, maybe swimming's not for me today. And you fall over and you laugh at yourself and you pick yourself back up and you try again. Maybe not as high. Whew. I'm a little bit more control there, but as you can see, I'm struggling. It is hard, hard, hard. Whew. So just a fun one, not a serious one, just a good one to play with. And then when you're ready, just kind of come back off of there. And just take a little child's pose. You have to have some fun somewhere, right? You don't want to take things too serious. Good. And so then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to come to some sideline work. And we're just going to open up the side body here with this ball. So this is just a little bit more of relaxation. Again, this where you place this here is going to 100% depend on the person. You don't want it to get too low in here. So I like mine a little bit more up in this region here. And I'm just going to support myself as I come down there. Good. And your bottom knee can be bent if you need that as support as well. I'm just going to come over. I'm just going to get a nice side bend. Well, maybe I want it to be just slightly down. Good. And I'm breathing and expanding. So those of you that do yin yoga with me, sometimes we do a similar version of this, side bending over a bolster cushion. Same purpose, same goal, just opening up the side body a little bit here. And then from here, when you're ready, you can carefully come out. Okay. Now we're going to take this ball. We're going to put this ball between the ankles. So we're going to do a banana variation with it. So we've got a couple options today. You can be up on the forearm. If you're going to be on the forearm, remember you want to be lifted in the shoulder, so we don't want to hang here. And you want to be lifted in the rib cage. So this is lifted in the rib cage. This is hanging in the rib cage, even though I'm not hanging in the shoulder. So watch your form. I think it's a little bit better if you come down a little bit here. Good. Roll forward. Make sure, think about shoulders, hips, ankles coming into alignment here. So this is a balance challenge as well. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Those of you that are more advanced, your arm can come up in the air. Others that need more support, take your hand down. Good. So from here, really reach, lightly press into your ball, and you're going to lift and lower. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Hold, hold, hold. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Bring that down. Good. Just kind of roll that ball up. You can put that ball to the side. Bottom leg can stay long, or you can bend it for more support. We're just going to go into a little bit more traditional mat work class here. So hips roll forward. Hips, knees, and toes face forward here. You can point, you can flex. Take some big circles here. Good. There's 2. Watch the pelvis. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pause, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whew. Bend that knee in slightly. Take it out. Good. I'm going to keep flexion in my foot. We're going to do front and back kicks here. So as I take it forward, I'm going to pulse, pulse, point, take it back. Pulse, pulse, point and take it back. Engage the core, watch the hips. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. when you're ready, cross that leg over here. Just get a nice little stretchy. We're going to go into a real quick quad stretch here. So just put a bend in the knee, grab that shin or the ankle. Good. Let that knee and that hip kind of settle down. For some of you, this is all you need. For others, squeeze that top glute. So whatever leg you have on top, squeeze that glute. Good. And just take that back a little bit. And then when you're ready, we'll release. Good. We're going to come down. We're going to come to all fours. We're going to have fun again with this ball. So whatever leg that you just had on top, that's the same leg that you're going to take this ball and you're going to put behind the knee. Good. So from here, find your good tabletop position. This can also be done on the forearms if your wrists are not the happiest. So find your good roots, pinky, pointer, and thumb. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Good. As you take that leg back, squeeze. Try not to dump into the low back here. So nice and steady and round. In 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If that's enough of a challenge for you, I'm just going to make a little adjustment here. You can stay there. Otherwise, we're going to take it up, cross over, lift, and come down. Excuse my rear end, but sometimes showing this from this angle gives people a better picture of what we're doing here versus the side. So drawing up and in, here, squeeze that glute. We're going to lift. We're going to cross over, lift, and come in. Lift, cross, lift, come down. Good. Lift, cross, lift, come down, lift, cross, lift, come down. Last one. Lift, cross, lift, come down. Take that knee down. Release that ball. Whoo, feels so good. Maybe you want to sink into that hip, walking the hands in the opposite direction. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, as you transition through center, just take that top leg over your bottom knee. Good. Anchor down that hip. Just lift, finding another little stretchy here. And when you're ready, we're going to take that all right into the other side. So from here, good. We're going to do that side opener now, opposite side. Find the rib cage that's appropriate for you, or that little sweet spot. And it might not exactly be where it was on the other side. So you can bend that bottom knee if you need to. This is about the stretch. Breathe and expand. So a lot of times when I do this one in yoga, I cough. So this opens up that heart chakra region. We carry a lot of shame and guilt there, if you experience that. And for some people, coughing is kind of a little bit of a release of some of that, or a kind of a safety mechanism, if you will, guarding mechanism. But I'm not coughing today though, so that's good. My work is helping me release some of that. Good. So from here, whenever you're ready, good. Carefully come up. Good. Grab that ball. Ball's going to come between the ankles. Good. So again, remember your options. You can take that forearm, lifted shoulder, lifted rib cage, or you can follow me coming down here. Remember, more advanced people, your arm can be up for that balance challenge, or you can take the arm down for stability with me. Shoulders, hips, ankles in alignment. Zip up, and we're going to lift and lower. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Good job. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And take that down. Good. I'm just going to use my foot to roll that ball up, maybe. Putting it to the side. Good. So bottom knee can bend, or you can keep your legs long here. Good. Make sure you roll the hips a little bit more forward. And then from here, you can put flexion or a point. We're going to go into the leg circles here. So we're going to come up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Pause, reverse your circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So energizing. 7 and 8. Good. Take that leg down. If you need to kind of bend in for a moment, do so. Otherwise, flexion in the foot, front and back kicks. Pulse, pulse, point and take it back. Watch your hips. Pulse, pulse, point and take it back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Woo! From here, when you're ready, just kind of bend in. Good. And then from here, before we come up, we're going to take that quad stretch. So reach for that shin, that ankle. Gonna let everything kind of settle here for a moment. Remember, for some of you, this is going to be enough. For others, squeeze that top glute, whatever that you've got on the top, and take that foot back. Feels lovely. And then whenever you're ready, whew, carefully release. Good. Carefully come up here to all fours. Good. We're going to take that ball and we are going to do the glute work on this other side. So whatever leg you just had on the top, take that ball behind that knee. Good. So again, find good form before you move. Good. Flexion in that foot. Good, strong core. And we'll take 6. Squeeze the glute when you come back. And 5. 4, don't dump into the back. 3, 2, and 1. And it helps too if your head and neck, if you think about your head and neck being an extension of the spine. So your gaze is downward, not up towards whatever it is in front of you. Good. So here's that up, cross, up and down. So up, cross, up, down. 2, 3, 4, 5, whoo, getting tired now, and 6. Whoo. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to release. Good. I'm just going to settle towards that side, taking my hands to the other side. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, I'm just going to rock back. Good. I'm taking that top leg over that bottom leg and just get a nice lift, lift, lift. And we'll take that down. We're going to come back on the back. We're going to do some Pilates reformer inspired exercises now. So, excuse me, allergies. We're going to take the ball. I'm just going to grab my water here. We're going to take the ball. We're going to put it right under the tailbone, the sacrum area. Again, we don't want it to be under the lumbar. It's going to be a little bit of a balance challenge here too. So I'm just going to lift. Good. And so I'm there. Make sure you're not in the lumbar. Good. So find your nice support. Find your balance. Zip up from the pubic bone to behind the navel. Roll your shoulders back. Your shoulders are a support here for you for stability. One leg at a time. Take it up into tabletop. Find your balance. Good. From here, we're going to go on a nice bicycle ride. So just roll, pedal, really reach. Good. Let's reverse your pedal. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, We'll come back in. We're going to go into our adductor stretch. So right off from reformer, taking the legs up and just lower down for a moment here. Find your bearings. Don't let the low back arch. You still want to stay in that neutral spine. We're going to zip up and come up, open once and close. 2 times and close, zip up, take it to your diagonal. And we'll lift and we'll open and close and open and close. Zip up, take it to diagonal, taking it up, open, close, open, hold it here just for a little bit of a stretch. Hands can come up for a little support if you need that. Maybe roll those ankles around in one direction and then the other. Good, and then from here, use your abs, use your thighs, bringing that back up. Good, we're gonna go into some Pilates inspired leg circles here, double leg circles. So I'm gonna demo this in parallel, meaning toes, knees, and hips are gonna face me, they're gonna face the ceiling. But remember, you've got 3 rotations here that you can play with. So if you watch this video more than once, then feel free to change it up. So just to kind of give you an option here, this is kind of parallel. Okay, then you've got your external rotation. Hip, knees, and toes are turning out away from the body. And then you've got your internal rotation. Toes, knees, and hips turn inward. They stay in that rotation the entire time you're working here. And everything else is the same. So you want to stay in neutral. So as you come down here, and you want to work on the symmetry. So pay attention if you've got one leg that wants to go out ahead of the other. Maybe think about slowing that leg down a little bit, because your slower leg is slow for a reason, and trying to speed up that slower leg is just not going to happen. So slow down the faster one, that's probably your stronger one, and find that symmetry. Good. And then from here, we'll come up. We're going to reverse the direction of your circle. Noticing too, and sometimes this is rotation dependent, not always. What direction is your easier rotation or direction? That's different for everyone. Good, and then from here, when you're ready, whoo, bend in those knees. 1 foot at a time, take it down, lift it up, take it down, take those knees into the chest, rock, rock side to side. We're gonna get a nice little hamstring stretch here before we move into some plank and push-up work. So I'm gonna take that ball down. Good. And if you really want this to be a challenge, you could keep staying on the ball here. You can certainly do it there, but I'm gonna take my ball out. Good, so I'm just gonna let my hands come behind my right leg as high as they can go. You can point and flex the foot. You can keep the foot in flexion for maximum stretch. Gentle tug in, keep softness in this knee. We don't want to lock it. And as you're here, even if you're on the ball, but especially if you're on the floor, can you find a little bit more length from crown to tail? Good, and then from here, we'll release. Cross this ankle over that left knee. You can stay here and press in, or you can bring this in here, getting a nice figure 4. If you're on the ball, I don't recommend rocking side to side. You can lose your balance that way very quickly otherwise, but if you're grounded, you can. Good. And when you're ready, we're going to do that all to the other side. So when you're ready, left leg's going to come up, hands are going to come behind that left leg as high as they can go. You can stay here, you can point and flex. You can keep that foot in flexion for maximum stretch. Keep that knee nice and soft and unlocked. Find some length in the spine. Come back to the breath. Breathe and expand that rib cage. Whenever you're ready, carefully release out of there. We're going to cross that ankle over opposite knee. Good. You can press in, or you can stay right here, or you can pull in towards the chest. Remember, if you're on your ball, don't rock side to side. If you're on the floor, you can rock side to side here. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, you're going to choose your transition. So actually, let's go into one more little stretch first. Sorry about that, before we come up and kind of do something different. So take your feet as wide as your mat. Lift your hips up. Good. You'll come off the ball here if you were on your ball before. Lift your hips. I'm shifting my hips to my left. As I shift to my left, I'm crossing left leg over right knee. I'm just letting those knees come towards the right, keeping my left shoulder grounded, maybe looking to the left. Last opportunity for a spinal twist here. Again, breathe and expand. And then from here, head back to center. If you need to undo your legs first as you come back to center, that's fine. Go ahead and do so. Otherwise, we're going to use our abs to bring those legs back into center. Carefully undo, press through the feet, take the hips back to center, wiggle, wiggle center, let everything reset itself. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the hips, shift them far over to the right, cross right leg over left knee, left thigh rather, and then take those knees over to the left. And you look to the right. Breathe and expand. And then when you're ready, good. Carefully come back to center in the way that's best for you. Good. Take your hips back to center. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. You choose your transition with the last opportunity to use a ball here. So remember, you can roll over to your side and come to a seat. You can take everything long and come up through a roll up. Or if you want to roll like a ball with or without your ball, I'm going to take mine behind the knees. Good. You can try that option. Good. Find your transition. Good. And when you're ready, good. We'll just cross. Good. We're done with that ball. We're going to take it out to the side where it's not in our way. We're going to go to planks and push-ups here. So from here, good. Again, spread the fingers nice and wide. Knees can be down, but you want to find a diagonal line here. So you don't want to collapse. You want to be supported. So think about a long line from shoulder to knee. You can also be up high, pressing the heels back. Good. Press that hard up into the shoulders. Press that mat away. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down or lifted. Push up. Elbows straight back. Try not to collapse through the shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Could you go for 4? Getting harder. 5. Woo! Maybe 6. Take it up. Find your plank. Knees lift, grounded or lifted. And we've got maybe one leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! I dropped my knee a little bit closer there to the end, but that's okay. Find a child's pose. It's always harder when you do it at the end and you're not as fresh. So we're going to end here with mermaids. So I'm just going to come to a nice little side seat. My legs are going to come to the side. It doesn't matter what side you start with. It's the same way, both ends. So I'm just going to start here. So I've kind of got my foot kind of tucked behind here. But for the most part, where do you feel comfortable? So I've got my hand on my shin. I'm going to reach. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, exhale, opposite side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, take it down, find rotation. Breathe and expand the rib cage. When you're ready, inhale, open up. Exhale, come back. Nice counter stretch. If you want to take a counter rotation, you can. And coming back up. When you're ready, we're just going to switch those legs over to the other side. Good. So find where you're comfy. Good. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, taking it over. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, find rotation. Breathe and expand. And when you're ready, inhale and lengthen. Exhale, move through center, taking it over. You can stay here. Little rotation if you want it. And coming back up. Whew, that had some intense moments in that workout. I hope you enjoyed Pilates with small ball, a little bit of fun, something a little bit different today. And I hope to see you again soon.